sometimes I actually feel quite weird, just like on my knees, holding this camera. So I'm hoping that was the one. So that's a bit of a cheeky one. I normally don't do stuff like that. I don't mind humans, can't stand groups of people. Yeah, it does feel very weird out here. You notice the footfall of how, when tourists are here, what type of tourists come, when type of tourists come. And I was just thinking, maybe I notice these things because I have spent so much time being homeless. It's like I feel like I can see the trends when they're coming in. Recently got into this thing where I like doing like lower level shots because you get a different perception. What makes a good photo? I think a lot of the time it's just about trying to create a story from one picture. How did I get into photography? That's a weird question. I could say I started at the depths of feeling depressed and isolated in general, really. Like, for example, when I was homeless, I would take pictures of, like, where I would stay, places where I would, like, live and stuff. Because, like, I will have photographs of perhaps a bench chair in a park. I've slept for maybe a week, couple of weeks on that bench. That was my bed. You know, the surrounding part of that green area in the park was maroon. And then I went to a shelter where they provide a breakfast and somewhere where you can wash. They had workers there, and one of the workers saw my photography and said I should become part of Cafe Art's photography group.
So MYLONDON started in 2013. It's a photography project where every year we give out 100 single-use film cameras to people who are homeless. And they have 7 days to take photos of the London they love.
So grab 22.
All right.
Camera 22. Right, put your name on it.
Yeah.
We get the cameras processed and a panel of judges from a variety of backgrounds, from photography to homelessness, choose the top 25. The public vote, and from that we get 12 or 13 photos that go into a calendar.
That's Simpsons on the Strand Savoy Hotel. It's a place I used to work when I was young. I was a chef. That type of life was, I was very enthusiastic, very naive to the world, willing to work everywhere and anywhere to get all sorts of skills. But every great time has a bad time, right? Sometimes in the kitchen it can get stressful. I've had panic attacks in kitchens and anxiety attacks because of the amount of stress that's going on. I've seen chefs cry in kitchens. I mean, for myself in particular, I've had moments where I've been working in a kitchen and people have decided to be verbally abusive. I was working at one particular private members club where racism in the workplace was more or less acceptable. He used the N-word on me and said, "You need to chill out, my N-word." And I was like, no, that's not happening. The heat of the moment, you can kind of like lose your cool. I think that's the nail that popped my balloon of stress and allowed all my anxiety and trauma to come out. Got into a fight, very serious fight in the middle of the kitchen. After that, I kind of like fell into a descent, started to take more drugs, ended up losing everything which I kind of cherished, i.e. friends, family, and my home above my head. Became homeless for like 7 years. But photography has been one of the things that sustained me through my stressful periods of time. Because each day is bleak when, like, you know, you don't wake up in a fancy place, do you know what I mean?
Welcome to the exhibition. So we're going to print 4,000 calendars We're going to sell it here in the market, in some train stations. When we do the award ceremony and hand out prizes, we give out £2,000 worth of prize money to the top 25. Since 2013, we've paid out £300,000 to the photographers and the people selling the calendar. So the idea is that people can earn money from their creativeness.
That is Chanel the mummy, and that's Parissa the daughter. It means a lot to be part of this, especially because I've been affected by homelessness from a domestic abuse situation. I ended up in a women's hostel. I stayed there for 5 months, and through a lot of obstacles, I came to London, and London has been my home. And you can come out and you can be stronger, and it's a journey. It's a journey.
My name's Kevin, and this is my photo 12. I basically went to Tottenham Court Road, saw this guy standing there with these trousers, and they looked like a pair of Victorian curtains, yeah? And I thought, I've got to get a picture of them. And it was only when I actually got down onto the floor that it sort of brought up a lot of sort of feelings in me. And it was only afterwards I realised that was a perspective that I used to see all the time when I used to actually be on the street, homeless. I was homeless on and off for many years, 15 years. I had a difficult childhood. I think for me, what happened was I got involved in drugs and all that kind of stuff, which the next thing you know, you lose everything. Sense of yourself, just being part of a group, all focused on the same thing, working together. I just think that's fundamental to you moving forward in your life, doing stuff like that.
I think the reason why today is important for photographers, because a lot of us are solo artists. We all work in our own zone. And when we come together and we look at each other's work, have a bit of debate, it's like constructive criticism, but from people who are on the same level as you. It's also about taking part and being part of something which is actually productive and beneficial to people.
Anyone can tell you what a good photo is or how it makes them feel. And it doesn't matter what background they come from. They might be somebody who's homeless, or they might be a company director. If you can take a photo, you can connect to other people. And I think that's the benefit of the project.
Cause I'm a freak, I'm a widow. Can't remember the rest of the words, but I know I belong